I'm a little curious as to what the budget for this film was, because it feels like a pretty small budget, especially given the cast size, but animations are a heck of a lot of work.
We could look it up, but that's not this podcast.
Right.
We don't do actual research.
We're not going to parse out the accounting.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Steam Powered Movies, the movie podcast where we watch a steampunk film and then we talk about it. I am host number 1. My name is Mike.
And I am host number 2. My name is Dana Fraedrich. Yeah. I'm a steampunk and fantasy author. I am a maker. I am a teacher. I am a lover of various not spicy Indian curries.
Those are some fun Dana facts for this episode. Mm-hmm. Did you number those facts? You could have numbered the facts.
I could have. It's true.
Yep. This film numbers a bunch of things.
It sure does.
This film that we watched to talk about this time was called 9.
Mm-hmm. Which I did have trouble looking for because it is actually just the number 9.
Yep.
And there are
that.
A bunch of documentaries that also start with the number 9. Fun fact.
There's a couple other films called 9 also.
Yeah,
but this
I
is
saw
the
that.
Animated one from 2009 from director Shane Acker, starring Elijah Wood and Jennifer Connelly, and has Crispin Glover and Christopher Plummer.
Friend of the podcast.
Yeah. You've had a few Christopher Plummers lately.
I know. He was in The Man Who Invented Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
What else was he in?
Some other stuff, for sure.
He was in one of the ones that we did, but I can't remember which one.
Yeah. Just a staple of films.
Mm-hmm. And he's a hard worker. He's in a bunch of stuff. Even
at the age of 147 or whatever he is.
Is he still kicking? Or is he still around? Or is he passed?
Don't know.
Okay.
And on that dark note, we're going to talk about this dark film.
I don't know if you noticed, Mike. This film is slated for kids.
Was it? Inappropriately.
It's mentioned like kids and family in the categories.
Whoa.
I know. It's really dark.
No.
I know.
No wonder it flopped.
Yeah. Okay, so let's give a little bit of background.
Okay.
I remember seeing this film, I believe with you. I think we might have gone on a date to see it. No?
I had never seen this before.
Was that with a date with someone else? Sorry.
Hey.
What? It's 2009. Let me think.
We were married.
Yeah, we were together.
Yeah.
Who was I on a date with?
I don't know. This is going to be an investigation after this podcast. But no, I don't think I had ever seen this film before.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
I mean, it has been long enough that I didn't really remember most of it.
I could have also forgotten.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I hadn't seen it before. Are you sure this was for kids?
That's what the thing on the TV said. It said family.
Wow. I kind of thought that this film failed because it was an animated thing targeted at adults, and the adults didn't really care for it. But if it was targeted for kids, I can see why it didn't do well, because it would creep them out and scare them.
There's
we see a dead body in the first minute.
Oh yeah, no. Then there are a couple of other dead bodies too.
Yeah, there's a dead child.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure if you clocked that as well.
I did.
Okay.
I wrote it down. I was like, wow, dark.
Yeah.
And that's in the first 5 minutes.
Yes.
That's how this film starts.
I mean, we've talked before about begin as you mean to go on, and they sure do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have so many thoughts about this film. Oh boy. Okay.
That pause says a lot.
Okay.
I am also not really sure where to start with this.
It is, yeah. There's kind of a lot happening in this film, but at the same time, it doesn't have a lot of the depth that I have come to appreciate.
Let's start on some familiar territory.
Go on.
Let's start with what makes this a steampunk film.
Okay.
I actually read a quote from an interview with one of the creators who described this as threadpunk, but with a lot of steampunk inspiration and influence. Okay. And I think there are also some true steampunk elements to it, right? But what did you catch?
I mean, okay, so
this is an audio medium.
Yes, I know, and I'm doing a lot of hesitations, a lot of pauses.
There's a lot of eyes going up
and
sighing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. This is not our best content. So, okay. Here's where I think things start to fall apart is when you start to pull at the threads.
Thread.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, we're such dorks. That's so good. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it doesn't really all fit together. But like, what is actually steampunky about this? I mean, I saw some big gears.
We do have a lot of gears. We have goggles. We have like our little articulated hands. So a lot of the mechanical type things are present in this film.
We've got some like ad hoc, like on the fly creation of mechanical things.
Yeah, a lot of like, kind of fabricating stuff from bits and pieces. That's very much the thing you see in steampunk. We are, however, missing the punk part. And the punk part of any kind of steampunk, atom punk, all of these are where you're kind of fighting the power, so to speak. And yes, we have, quote unquote, the power in the form of this like big monster.
The machine.
Beast, the machine, the brain. But that's not quite the same thing. Like, for instance, when you look at like, let's say, a lot of steampunk books and films and other media, the power is usually corporations taking advantage of people. Or, army or some other kind of like big military force.
I think that happened off screen before the film started.
Yes, but
the part where the military came in and like turned the scientist creation into a weapon.
But I think
of mass destruction.
Then stripping it down to just the weapon itself kind of hollows out that message.
Well, it was the machine that made the weapons.
Yes, but it was a human who made the machine. Although I do think there's something poignant in the fact that he mentions that like it has no soul, kind of in the same way that AI has no soul, and yet people are using it for creation.
So it's for the times of now.
It
is appropriate.
It is a bit. And again, I'll say, why would anyone read a book or admire a piece of art that no one bothered to make themselves and that has no soul?
It's a good point. It's a good point. But this machine could make bullets.
Yeah, he can make bullets, or it can make bullets.
Destroy the entire world? ?
Okay, I have some notes on that too.
Yeah.
But let me just finish my thoughts on this machine thing.
Sure.
So the machine only knows what it was programmed to do by the humans.
Yeah.
I don't know that we can hold this machine to the same level of accountability that we would hold a corporation or a group of armed forces or anything like that, because those are humans making those decisions.
Yep.
This machine only knows what it was programmed to do. And therefore, I don't think that has the same culpability as when a human makes a choice.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say it feels a little bit hollowed out.
Well, it wasn't the real big bad. The machine itself was not the real bad guy.
Yeah.
It was how it was used.
Yeah.
Which again happened off screen before the film started.
So it sort of lacks that real backbone as far as like the punk segment of thread punk. I do like thread punk.
Yeah.
I like it for actually a lot of reasons. I actually just read a term today that I like a lot that kind of makes me think of this, which is craftivism. And that's basically activism, but through crafts. And often it is looked down on because a lot of crafts are seen as more feminine. And so I actually do like this thread punk concept.
Yeah.
I like this idea of this like kind of more feminine area of makerism being used to enact change.
Yeah, although it'd have been cool to see more of like how that form was landed on.
As in like the rag doll?
Yeah, like why the rag dolls?
I also, that's a really good question because it is an interesting medium. I don't think it has anything to do with scale because he's like putting part of his soul into each one of these dolls. And he apparently only has enough soul for 9 dolls.
Spoiler, at the very end we find out that, all these dolls are pieces of this one scientist who created the machine that was then corrupted and then killed all humans.
Yeah, and not even all humans, everything.
Yeah.
So the fact that the bodies are not yet decaying kind of informs us that even bacteria is dead. Even the most basic forms of life that cause decay has been wiped out.
Or it was very recent.
I don't want to get too graphic, but like
I think
human
some time has
bodies
passed,
and
yeah.
organic matter breaks down very quickly once
Mhm.
death has occurred.
Okay. Or perhaps the creators and the writers didn't think through all those details.
I actually had that thought that, okay, they probably haven't thought this closely about it.
Yeah, I think a lot of things weren't thought through in a lot of detail. I got the sense from watching this that they were really just going on some vibes.
A lot of vibes, for sure.
And a few designs, like the rag dolls
Mhm.
and the machine,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a Matrix / War of the Worlds
Mm-hmm.
kind of visual style.
Do you know what this made me think of?
What's that?
Okay, did you ever see The Borrowers?
No.
It's a book. I think it was also made into a film at some point, but it's a book first and foremost. And they're basically little people who live inside your house, and if something goes missing, like a button or a sock, it's usually down to the borrowers. They come and they take things, and they make their whole
Was this
civilization.
like a British thing?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
it's a
I
British
thought so.
book
Yeah.
series.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so it kind of reminds me, like it kind of makes me think of a dystopian Borrowers, where they're little, and so they're kind of taking all the bits and pieces that they find around and are, using them to make more stuff.
Yeah, but on the vibes, I got pretty early on that I was not feeling like these characters were really being well fleshed out
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or portrayed to us to make us identify with any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting the feeling pretty early on that we were missing a big part of the story,
Mhm.
that there was going to be a reveal later that would like make the characters make sense.
Mhm.
Early on, when it first showed the like the device or whatever,
Yeah.
the called the origin, maybe that's not what they called it.
The source. Yeah.
The thing that would suck the soul.
It was basically like a magic talisman.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, well, this is the thing that takes a human soul and puts it into a doll or into something else. So I was thinking that all of the individual rag dolls were individual people that were like part of a resistance or something. And this is the only way for them to survive was to convert themselves to a doll form.
Right.
Which I was kind of right. It was all one person.
Sure.
In the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think multiple people would have made more sense.
I tend to agree because, again, when it comes to size, I don't think a soul is bound by the size of the body it's in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure it makes sense that like, oh, when he like made these things, it only took like a little bit of his soul for each one.
Yeah.
But I like that you mentioned that they didn't really feel well-rounded. And I have some comments on that. But first I want to ask you, did you feel satisfied when we got to the part that actually explained that, oh, each one of these little guys has just a piece of the scientist's soul in them? Did you feel like that satisfied sort of that question or that feeling?
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, it answered the question, but it didn't make me like feel anything.
And so that's what I have comments on.
Yeah.
Is that I did not emotionally connect to any character in this film at all.
Yeah.
I was pretty disinterested, I think, because of that lack of connection.
I want to let the people in on a little bit here.
Okay.
That, we watch these films sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Opposite ends of the couch.
Pulling back the curtain a little bit.
We're taking notes. We're watching the film. We try not to talk to each other because we save it for the microphones, right? But oftentimes we will still react to the movie as we're watching it. If it's something funny, we laugh. If it's something scary, it's like, oh man, or something crazy happens, like, oh dude, I didn't see that coming. We sat in complete silence for this entire movie.
Yeah.
Start to finish. And then it was like, well, that's over.
We did it. Check mark.
Yeah. There was just nothing to feel.
Yeah.
Like, especially at the very end. I'm going to skip to the end.
Okay.
Like, they had the fake victory part.
Yeah.
Which at the moment, even I wrote down, that seemed too easy.
Yeah.
Of course, that was too easy. That wasn't the real ending. There's going to be something else. But even after the real ending, you should be like hooting and hollering and cheering, like, yeah, the good guys won. But it ended on such a downer note. There was really no victory. It was not exciting.
I'm going to say something that might shake you.
Okay. I'm ready.
I will grant this ending felt marginally more hopeful than the ending of Snowpiercer.
Whoa. You know what? I will counter that.
Okay.
At least at the end of Snowpiercer, there were some humans alive.
Not for long.
Yeah, no. So the IMDb tagline for this film, I wrote this down because I knew it was going to be important. It says, a rag doll that awakens in a post-apocalyptic future holds the key to humanity's salvation. That is false. There are no humans alive. And at the very end, there's just like 4 pieces of this one scientist's soul living in rag dolls. That doesn't seem like a key to salvation. They're like, this world is ours now, but it's like, to do what? And who? It was just so down.
I know what you mean. And I don't totally disagree. I do think, and I can't believe I'm defending this film. I do think at the end, you remember like with the rain and the little green specks in the rain? Okay, Mike is not rolling his eyes.
Yes, I'm rolling my eyes.
Okay. It's
describing the rolling of my eyes so people can know what's happening.
Yeah. So I think that was meant to imply that this rain has like the power of life in it and it's going to bring your life back. Now, again, because science, I don't think the creators thought really through how that works. Like we still don't know how primordial ooze kind of came together. There's like the sandwich theory, the soup theory, and a couple of other theories. Like it feels like not enough.
No, it feels like they were like, oh, hey, maybe a more interesting story will happen off screen after the film is over.
Right.
Like,
yeah, you're here for the in-betweeny boring bits.
Yeah, the really downer, not hopeful, everything sucks in this world of nothing alive. Is it the entire world, though? It's like this one machine and this one factory.
Yeah, and like they talk about the state.
Yeah, is this just like one country? Is this one city? Is it an island in the middle of the ocean that got overrun by this thing, but the rest of the world is fine?
You know,
I don't know.
You can choose to believe about this fictional world whatever you want, whatever makes you feel better. So you could choose to believe, you know what, this is just like a one-off little isolated island. The rest of the world is actually doing fine.
I don't know, man.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's a real downer of a movie.
Yeah.
Like even like from the beginning, I don't know if you felt the same way. So when they go to like the big building to rescue 2, the rescue feels very empty because it comes to nothing.
It does. It comes to absolutely nothing. And then the end of the film is basically doing the same thing again.
Yeah.
Where this time 7 and 8 got captured.
And
they gotta
5
go,
as well.
And 5.
Yeah.
And they don't rescue 8 or 5. 7 somehow makes it.
Yeah. So, well, 7's like the one.
The girl one?
Yeah. The girl one who is a really good fighter.
I thought maybe one of the things that was maybe a clever reference in this is that the girl one was 7 of 9.
I actually had that thought as well.
For the Star Trek fans.
Yeah. I had that thought as well. And I was like, is this intentional?
It doesn't feel like it could be by accident, really.
I mean, we literally only have 9 numbers to go through. So the odds are not super high.
I was thinking maybe the twins were also females because they were the same color as 7.
I did pay attention to like the different fabric types because I noticed that 7's like skin, for lack of a better word, is different, but actually
smoother instead of burlappy.
Yeah, but actually like 8 was a little bit different. 2 and 3, who are our cute twins, they were a little bit different, and then 6, the guy who I don't know if you noticed, he has pen nibs for fingers.
Oh, I didn't
doing
notice
all
the
the drawing and
fingers.
stuff.
Yeah,
also different fabric. So I do actually think
had the stripes.
Yeah. The design is really interesting because you can see an evolution of 1, whatever pieces are possibly lying around, and 2, like, oh, I've realized I can do this better. Like 9, the last one, he has a zipper, whereas 7 has like a little like frog latch kind of fixture.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And then also 2 had like little like cross lacing, almost like a corset going up the front. So that part is sort of interesting.
I think you're right. They did put a lot of thought into the designs of the characters and how they look. And I didn't think about that evolution bit, but that is kind of cool. Like 9 is the culmination, doing it the best of all the ways.
Yeah.
And keeping all the safe bits inside the zipper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the characters looked cool and interesting, but I didn't really know what they were. There was no hint at them representing like different parts of the scientist's personality or something like that.
Not really. They're kind of just generic pieces of humanity, I think. Like we have fear, we have courage, we have
the brute.
Curiosity. Yeah. Like just brute force.
Yeah.
So we have all of that, but yeah, nothing that makes it like this is a unique person with a rich inner life.
I mean, there were some interesting little bits. I wrote some things down. Speaking of little Easter eggs, maybe for circa 2009, found it funny when 9 says, "We have to go back."
Oh, I know. I see. That was like the one part I heard you chuckle.
I did chuckle to myself because I thought it was like Jack from Lost.
Yep. And you've thought that part was hilarious for years.
Yeah, it's just.
I will say there's
nonsense.
One more thing that's kind of chuckle worthy.
Oh, okay.
When 8 is like getting high on magnetism.
That was the other thing I was going to write down.
Yeah. So like that's actually kind of funny. I don't know like what, and this is the thing is like, okay, so.
Not explained, just thrown in.
Yeah. Like they're not.
Was not a theme later, didn't come back, just like one little scene.
Like they're kind of robots, but they run on the power of human soul. So I don't know exactly how this magnet is, kind of like tweaking 8's brain.
Yeah.
And this is sort of the thing is, okay, so there's a concept in writing where you can do like one big ask of your audience.
Okay.
I think this film definitely had more than one ask.
Oh, for sure.
So obviously we have like magic brings these little guys to life.
Yeah, I wrote down at one point the quote unquote science is pretty squiffy.
Yeah. And I mean, okay, so we've got kind of like a Frankenstein's monster kind of thing. Okay. And, we get into like what is, being human mean and the human spirit and what does all that encompass? Okay. But also there was like a huge war and these chemical weapons that killed literally everything. And by my observation, including all fungi, plants, bacteria, moss, everything.
I think you're right, though. Yeah, there was a line that like the gas killed everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right that there was no decay. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Mm-hmm. There are a couple of other things that I think it just got under my skin a little bit as someone who thinks a lot about the world building.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a scene where they reflected sunlight into like the kind of mechanical pterodactyl's eyes.
Yep.
Except they aren't eyes. They're some kind of like optical sensors.
Mm-hmm.
And this assumes that the optical sensors work the same as eyes.
It could be at least just thrown off by excess light.
Could be.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Like if we think about like the dilation of pupils and how much light that allows in, and suddenly there is an excess of that. Okay. I can see that.
Yeah, I think that is one of the more reasonable scientific leaps.
Sure. But kind of in that same vein of like how these machines, like not counting the rag dolls, because they're kind of machines, but they're kind of not. I don't know. That's sort of its own separate issue.
Yeah, we see some like schematics, but we don't really know what powers them.
Right. I mean, they have mechanical components that we know.
Right.
But as far as the actual machines, like the brain, so the brain gets frustrated when its creation is brought back, the pterodactyl head, and it like gets mad and it like crushes the head.
Yeah.
Okay, so we established that the brain, the machine, doesn't have a soul.
Right.
Do you need a soul to have feelings?
See, that's what kind of threw me off too at one point when it was 2 got captured and got its soul sucked into the machine. And then a little bit later on, 9 was like, no, wait, we have to go back because like the machine is the source or something.
Yeah, it has like the souls inside of it.
Like 6 later said it out loud, like, oh, they're trapped. I was thinking that it was sucking the souls in and that like the souls were like still in there somewhere, and that maybe the machine wasn't doing bad stuff. It was like they had to all be absorbed by the machine to like become one thing, maybe, and that like the machine was going to end up not being bad when they went back to it. But then at the end, it was like, no, the machine's evil. The machine's irredeemable, and the souls are just gone now. Which I thought that was really conflicting with what I felt like it was setting up to earlier. I felt like it was setting up to be that like, no, like 2 was inside the machine. That's what made it create. Like when it made the pterodactyl.
Like it took on the characteristics of the thing it absorbed.
So I thought it was like, it was coming out as like a crude creation, but it was still like the soul of 2 in there, and that maybe they were going to be able to redeem the machine at the end.
Right. But
then that's
not
what happened.
We did learn that was what the machine was designed for, was to build more machines. Right.
So maybe it was a red herring that the things it was creating were like intricate or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I looked for the same thing, because I was thinking, okay, well maybe like, because it kind of reminded me of this book, In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune, where I was like, okay, well maybe the machine, it's been programmed to kill all humans, as robots do.
Right. We learned that from Bender.
Of course. But, you know, it can sense that there's still bits of human soul, or don't ask me how, but still bits of human soul in these ragdolls. Therefore, we must kill the ragdolls and get the souls, and then the job is done.
Yeah, but why was it sucking the souls?
I don't know. I don't know that, because I thought it was powering at first. Like, do you need human souls to power yourself? But that also doesn't seem to be the case. So no, I don't know. And it sort of like feels, I don't know, like, because it didn't start up until like the talisman was in it. But then when the talisman got taken out, it was still powered up. And then it needed like the backfiring of the power in the talisman to like destroy it. There's so many things about this that are so confusing and don't seem consistent.
Yeah, no, because like you said, you know, 9 stupidly plugged the thing, and he's like, oh, the thing matches. And then it's like, what are you thinking? Are you not thinking?
Well, again, that's kind of what makes these personalities not feel well-rounded. It literally feels like they are kind of components of a human soul. So like 9 is like mostly curiosity.
I guess,
like he's like 80% curiosity and then like 20% like rational thought. I don't know.
Yeah, it felt weird in the very beginning. Again, one of the reasons it felt like we were gonna get backstory at some point was as soon as he woke up, he met another thing. As soon as he could talk, he was having like fully formed sentences and thoughts and complex ideas. It's like, you just woke up.
But, you know, I wrote that down because where is it? Here we go. So he wakes up and he tries to communicate with 2. So he thinks he should be able to talk. He understands, 1, what the power of speech is, and 2, that he ought to have it. So he's born not only with the capacity for intelligence, but also like he already has knowledge in his head. Like he knows what gravity is, and he knows like he has morals about like right and wrong and how to like take care of people. So again, I think that comes from the fact that he has this piece of a human soul in him. Because once they explained that, I was like, okay, I can kind of buy that.
Right. But then they also had him act like an infant and just plug the thing in.
Yeah. Let's just do this thing.
Just see what happens.
Right.
And like the fact that was so easy, again, made me think that like that was actually a good thing, and the machine was it was doing what it was supposed to do. Right. And that it was going to be redeemed at the end. But it wasn't. It was just another thing that didn't really make sense. Just like number 1, sacrificing himself at the end didn't really make sense with his character.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they foreshadowed it, and I knew it was foreshadowing when he said, sometimes one must be sacrificed. Remember?
Yeah, but
that was like early on. And when he said that, I was like, that's going to be a double meaning for the number 1 later in the film. And it happened, but it still didn't make sense.
I will say, though, like his continual being like, nope, we got to leave him behind. Nope, that guy's dead now. Goodbye. Like, that happened so many times that it got to a point where by the time he did sacrifice himself, I was like, no. Because this guy he's gone hard in the opposite direction too many times.
It just didn't make sense. Yeah, there was no thing where he came around. There was no arc. It was just at the time that the plot needed it, he became
pretty much
the one sacrifice.
Yeah. Do you know there's only 13 people?
Pun intended.
Yeah, the one.
Yeah.
By the way, did you know there's only 13 people in this entire cast?
Yeah, I saw it was really short
And
because there's not very many characters.
yeah. I'm a little curious as to what the budget for this film was, because it feels like a pretty small budget, especially given the cast size, but animations are a heck of a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of curious about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they got a couple well-known actors like Jennifer Connelly. Like, she's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
You know?
Elijah Wood. And this was right pretty much on the heels of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. That would have been pretty much right after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could look it up, but that's not this podcast.
Right.
We don't do actual research.
We're like not going to like parse out the accounting.
Yeah. We just talk about it and then we give it a rating. Are we ready to do that yet?
I'm ready to do that.
Okay.
Me and my wine glass, which is still partially full, are ready to do that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's finish that wine and let's rate this film not based on any like critical acclaim sort of criteria. We're not professional critics. We just have opinions, you know? And the one opinion we give first is how steampunk is this film? On a scale of 1 to 5 steam engines, how steampunk was 9. Dana.
I'm only going to give it 2 out of 5.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like it does a lot of things, but just putting pieces together does not necessarily make you steampunk.
Okay.
So I do like this idea of thread punk. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think the stuff looked cool. Had like the goggle effect with the eyes.
Yeah.
And all the gears and things.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. Oh, we did have an evil airship.
That we did. Okay, I'll pop it up to 3.
That's what I was going to suggest. I was going to say let's give it 3.
You're right. Airships.
There was an airship and gears and goggles.
Yeah.
I think that's enough for 3.
Okay, we'll give it 3.
Okay, so 3 out of 5 steam engines for how steampunk. Then we also just rate it on how much we enjoyed the film, Dana, as her eyes dart around and don't meet mine.
Oh, man.
Dana, on a scale of 1 to 5 gears, how much did you enjoy 9?
It feels unfair to give it 1 because I think I gave Snowpiercer 1. It might have been 0, but like I didn't hate it. I just didn't at all connect with it. So I think a 2 is fair.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me on a scale of top hats, it's only 2 top hats as well. I didn't feel anything. I didn't hate it. I didn't really like it. I was kind of curious at points.
Yeah. I had a lot of questions, and I will give this movie this. There are a lot of philosophical questions coming to mind as I watch this. And I don't dislike that. I like these big questions about the universe and humanity and what makes a soul and what does that mean and all that kind of stuff. So I do like that part. I think that part's fun and interesting. But
if you want to watch a film that addresses those questions, watch the Pixar film Soul.
Oh yeah,
it does a much better job.
It's got all these systems for that. That's true. That is.
It actually addresses them head on,
right?
And like makes you feel something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do think that part's fun, but like emotionally, as far as like connecting with these characters in the way that like makes my brain fizz, because that's obviously the thing that like I love about stories is the characters and kind of connecting with them and being like, would I be friends with this person? Do I want to hang out with this person? Do I want to be on an adventure with this person?
Yeah.
I didn't feel any of that in this film. So on that emotional character level, I got nothing.
Yeah, and for me, the ending was just like a total bummer. And even though it tried to be a little hopeful, I didn't think it worked.
It does. I'm going to bring up one more philosophical question in regards to that.
Sure.
So you mentioned that these 4 ragdolls now kind of are the only things left in the world. And like, what is it for? To what end? What do they do?
What is it for? Oh, the numbers. Does it mean something?
It doesn't. I didn't know. But it does beg the question of like, okay, let's say this is the scenario. What do 4 ragdolls who are inhabited by pieces of human soul, what do they do with an entire world to themselves? Do they create? Do they follow in the path of humanity where they're constantly pushing the boundaries and seeing what they can do and searching? Or do they just go about their days?
Really good questions
Mhm.
that we'll just have to imagine answers to.
Okay.
If any of you listening have an answer or a different opinion about this film that we didn't like very much, you can give us your feedback. Hit us up in the Discord. That's in the description of this podcast. There's a link to that. You can hit us up on our socials, pretty much everywhere at Steam Powered Movies. We're on the Bluesky and the Instagram and the Threads. You can go to steampoweredmovies.com for a full list of episodes and more details there. We appreciate you. Thank you for listening. We will talk to you again next month with another episode. Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone.